What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Plastic Power Podcast. This is Starblast Studios alongside Daredevil 19. Over here, we got Champ Animations. How you doing, my man?
Champ! Back at it again with the Plastic Power Podcast. Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, and of course, we have a very special guest, a big-time figure reviewer, a big-time figure collector. You know the puns that I'm making. Please welcome Shartimus Prime.
Yeah, what's going on? Hey, thanks for having me, you guys. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Such a pleasure to have you here. Now, I don't think a lot of people here know about this, but when I was originally getting into the Dragon Ball line, some of your reviews on like the 1.0 Goku all the way back in the day was a big, influence as to why I got into that stuff. So,
right on. Oh,
yeah,
sweet.
like legit. This was before I even knew Daredevil and such. So this is like.
Oh,
this is quite a cool. This is quite a cool moment for me.
Hey, shout out to JRA Nightmare for getting me into SH Figure Arts. I had no idea SH Figure Arts were a thing without JRA Nightmare. So that he's the one who led me on. So you have him to thank as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, my man. Thank you, my man. Getting this guy reading the Dragon Balls manga and doing reviews on him.
Oh yeah.
On the figure.
Fun.
Then with Mayfex, Devil's Due was the one that told you about Mayfex, and I never knew about them until him and you. And I always said thanks to him, like when I would talk to him, I wouldn't have known about that figure line. I mean, eventually we would have figured it out, but
by then you would have to suffer with aftermarket prices.
Devil's Due gave me my first Mayfex figure, the Batman.
Yeah. I remember that one because remember it fell apart. Mine always fell apart. I was like, son of a bitch. But it was still a really good figure. You just pop it back together.
Right. Unfortunately, I actually recently broke mine. Like the knee. After all
they made like 3 more versions of them. So.
Oh, yeah. So I'd be able to pick it up. I got to keep that one intact, though. That's the special.
Yeah.
I get the sentiments with the figures sometimes.
Yeah, you got to keep the sentimental ones.
I remember that I started watching you, Shartimus, back in like, what was it, like maybe 2012, 2011? Like, I think I was like getting into high school, and like it was like around when Amazing Spider-Man was coming out, Dark Knight. Like, that was like, that's what got me into collecting, honestly, and watching your videos. I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll get back into buying toys again.
Damn, you guys. Well, hey, thanks all 3 of you. You guys all been watching for quite some time. We're talking about over 10 years.
Yeah.
Like
when you started in what, 08?
Yeah, the first video, I think the first video or 2 went up like at the end of 08. Yeah. And then 2009, I was very unemployed and very much posting a lot more in 2009. Yeah. So that's
got to pump out more videos.
Yeah, what else am I going to do? Look for a job? I mean, I did, but, I still had the time to work on. And I wasn't editing videos at that time either. It was like around 7 minutes and do it all at once or start just do it all over again if I made a mistake. And that's how it was. All live performance, which it's better to edit, I think. But, that's what it was back then. So mistakes happen in the videos for sure. Yeah, and
then like later, eventually, you kind of got into like doing stop motion and such, like with the videos and like the big time Spider-Man, which like I think that it's like the you having a figure to like just kind of dog on and just like bring in for comparisons and such is actually like really funny. I think just kind of it brings in more of the fun and such of the videos, but like also like as a collector, like here's the figure I don't like, here it is next to this figure.
Thanks. Yeah. No, I really appreciate that. It adds an extra fun element to it. And one thing I didn't really realize until later on, shout out to Moose for enlightening me to this. Because he had asked me about
I know that guy.
The stop motion community. Yeah, like he's part of the and he had asked me about my involvement with the stop motion community, and I was like, whoa, I never saw myself as being really a part of the stop motion community, but I do a lot of stop motion. Like I do it enough, almost on a daily basis, and it makes sense. It's just very rushed. Like, let's do this as fast as I can, you know. But it gives another element to the review, because if you are into stop motion, you get to see, because you can tell how good a figure is when it's animated. Like when it animates really well, that could show that the figure is really good for, you know, for your posing and for your animation. So it just adds that other quality to the review, I think, so that people that animate could get a feel for it also, you know.
Like
so
that
I
one guy, Lazarus, Lazaeus.
Oh, Lazaeus, yeah.
Yeah, he used
nuts.
the old Spider-Man 2 figure from the
Yeah,
movie. That's to show you how good the articulation was.
Right. Yeah. You can see, like, talk about a figure holding up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, holy
that came out
shit.
what, like 04 or something? Different times then.
Yeah, I think 04. Yeah, I think 04 is when that did come out. Yeah, Spider-Man
something
2.
around there,
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah.
And we finally have another addition to it, which I'm very happy about.
Yeah. Ooh, open
That
it.
Spider-Man figure. Let's go.
I opened it. I opened it already.
Okay.
I just put it back in the box. It's just so I don't have to lose any accessories. I don't want to.
That is a fun figure. Now we need the Andrew Garfield one.
Yeah, whenever that comes around, without the unmasked head, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the Goblin. Give me that.
Oh yeah.
That looks awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that looks incredible. Yeah, I cannot wait for that one.
Is that a premium Bandai exclusive?
God, I hope not.
Oh, I didn't see. I just saw a picture. I just saw pictures of it, but I didn't get like a good thorough read up on the.
Yeah, I didn't either. I don't know if it's. I forgot when it said it was going up for pre-order, so it's going to be expensive.
I don't know. I have to take a break. Like, my wallet has just been sapped dry as of late. You know, when it came to, like, you know, buying stuff, and it's just like, that Goblin, he looks cool. But I mean, now with, like, my wallet, I gotta pick, and it's just like I'm a little, you know, I get pick and choose what I get. I'm actually a little bit more critical about it right now, because it's like I kind of have to be if I'm gonna be picking what I want. It only comes with 2 stern faces, and I'm just like, well, if this is the Goblin, this is the Green Goblin. Shouldn't the basic face be like a laughing face or a smiling face, grinning face, something like that? Like what? Like what they do with Sukuna, like that's a thing that he does all the time.
That like
he should be. Yeah, that's
smile.
Exactly. This is like filled with them, but they can't even do that for the Green Goblin. I find that strange.
Yeah, that's odd.
I might still buy it, to be honest. I'm such a fan of this is a film, so.
So should we get into that topic?
Sure. Yes. Go ahead. Start us off, man.
All right, so we had to bullshit a little bit about toys right there, because we all love them.
Yes.
Yeah, like lately we've been noticing, like Shartimus Prime put out a video recently, 5 ways you know you can trust an action figure influencer. I think the best part about that video was the very end of, like, it's all right to watch reviewers. I watch multiple ones of the same figure. That's what I used to do. Mm-hmm. And don't let them make up your mind. Have yourself make up your mind of what you want, if you want to spend your money on that figure or not. Maybe this person will like it, but this person doesn't. That's 2 different reviewers giving you 2 different opinions. So that message I liked at the end of that video.
I can very much like respect like, you know, a lot of figure figure reviewers that really do try to, like, you know, hammer in, like, they try to look at a figure from like a very unbiased perspective. And I've seen a lot of people get upset at these people because they think like, oh, they're dogging on a figure that they like, and, you know, they get all this hate and such. But like, in reality, they're just being objective and they're just being honest. And it's like Anthony's Customs, I think, definitely fits this description to me, because he's one of those people. He's been around for a long time. He's very like he actually knows what he's talking about when it comes to, like, you know, the engineering and such, since he also makes action figures. And so like, you know, the one of the big things that, you know, that the Dragon Ball line does is that for the neck joints, for example, this you know, they don't use double ball pegs. They're using it a lot more often and such. Like with the the superhero Gohan, this came out with a double ball peg, but usually they're using
the barbell type joint. Yeah,
but they tend
to like a ball hinge.
Yeah, but they're using a ball hinge. Yeah, exactly. They're using a ball hinge, and it limits the articulation. So like it's ultimately it's. I think what the most important thing with those, types of figure reviews, like even if like you're watching multiple, you can look at someone who looks at things and they just happen to like this, or they just happen to,
Yeah.
be honest and critical of certain things. It's like you can tell just from the figure, what your basic likes are from a figure, and
Yeah.
what they aren't, depending on it is. And it's just like some people, like it is like that goes, and so this kind of comes back into your video, Shartimus, and it's like it makes perfect sense because anyone who is legitimately like critical and like being honest and such about figures, like they're going to give you into the nitty gritty, going into the pros and cons, and like any other like some other figure reviewers, if I'm not mistaken, like if they get like a promotion, they're just gonna be absolutely like, go buy this, I don't care, don't, this is not a problem, don't look at this issue here, go just buy it.
Yeah. There's, I don't know how many people are actually doing that, and you know what I mean. Like how many people are really, dare I say the word?
They only know.
Dare I say how many people are actually shilling out there for like I don't know, like I honestly don't think that is a very, very common thing. If it is, I don't see it enough to where it makes me feel like it's a common enough thing. Because first off, there's not that many channels that get the free stuff. Do you guys cuss on your stream or not?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
we
you
try
can.
not to, but I mean, you can.
Yeah, I bleep it out. It's fine. I bleep it out.
But
It's fine.
PG-13.
Like, yeah, the free, getting free shit isn't as common as one would think. I mean, it happens, but it's not like every channel is. It happens with every channel. It takes a while to get to a point where companies recognize, the channel and will start sending stuff out like that. But I feel like most people are trying to be honest and stuff. I was gonna make another point and it just slipped my mind right now because I started looking at the hinge on this Captain America.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? Neck hinge is better than the double ball joint. I personally prefer the hinge. I like the hinge, but
compared, Marvel does it
differently.
You get way more forward and back.
Yeah, in that the hinge is built into the neck. That hinge is built into the neck, and because of that, it gets more range. What the thing with Figuarts is that the hinge, it's like like let's look at Piccolo for example. It's on the very top, so it hinges right there. And if they're going to like not make the articulation and such designed into the neck, then in this case, a double ball peg would be better.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Oh.
But that's why they also add the lower neck too.
I get it. Okay, so it's not giving you the clearance that you need into the neck.
Yeah.
Then if you I see what you're saying.
So like he can move around. So like he can move around like something like this. You can somewhat simulate a double ball peg, but this one is just like you got all that free extra motion and such with the double ball peg and more like playability with it.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay, I see. Yeah, because I've been an advocate for the neck hinge on the Legends, but I don't like it when they do the double ball joint.
I know what you're talking about.
Legends, because I feel like you get less movement with that one. But
you do. I think they're trying to try to kind of do importish because imports do that a lot. They're trying to give you all type of motion, which I understand, but then it does limit that forward and back movement.
Well, yeah, I got to ask Dwight about that, and he said that, hey, we try new stuff, and we try to see what works and what doesn't work and everything. It looks like they've gone back to the hinge, though. I don't know if it's just from my complaint or they've heard enough people complain about it that they're going back to the hinge, or if they're already planning on doing that or what. But sorry, shut off my email right there. But luckily, we are seeing that more often. But
and they're bringing back the windows on the boxes.
See, so so that makes me happy as hell too. I just did a toy hunt for the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 wave, and holy crap, that was rough because
windows. Wait, do they have the windows? Because I
they
saw
have
them
no
all
windows
at
on them.
No windows. Right,
and like for like half of the wave, I had to buy my figure at customer service and open it right after I bought it to make sure everything was there. And one time I bought a Kraglin and he was missing his knife.
Oh.
And they're like, okay, yeah, my guy, see, he's missing his knife.
It
And
probably
they took
just
the
fell
whole
out,
figure
too.
away from me, and I was like, oh, no, that was the last one I needed. It's a piece. Like, oh, what did I just
let me
do?
keep it.
No, I'm sorry. Bring it back, baby.
Yeah.
Please.
Like, can't you just tell it to be discounted? She's like, no, we have to send it back to the manufacturer.
But I don't need the knife. I don't need the knife.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
walking away with
Forget it. So then, like, I couldn't find the Kraglin anywhere.
Oh
And
man!
a couple days
then when you
later, I
find
guess
them-
they restocked Kraglins, and they had 4 Kraglins there on Wednesday. So what I just explained happened on a Monday, and then I was able to pick them up on Wednesday. I was like,
that's not too bad.
So at least
that moment.
But out of like 4 or 5 targets, there was only that one target that had Kraglin. It was weird. Like,
Yeah, you have to
in
go
this
all
local
around.
area.
Yeah, it's only one of them that'll like get a certain figure or a certain wave or something. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah,
Can't you all just get it?
yeah, really bizarre. But but going back to what you're saying about, you know, like community and stuff like that, in that video, I do notice that, like, since the pandemic, I really feel like that there has been a lot more of a kind of negative tone within the community, and
yeah.
I feel like when you have the manufacturers making mistakes, like doing the windowless packaging stuff, that does fuel the flames. Like, that stuff does
Pours
fuel the flames
gasoline
for
right
sure.
on them.
Yeah, and the Engine of Vengeance stuff. I don't know if you guys backed it or not. I'm kind of curious to know if that's one.
You're
No,
talking- the Ghost Rider. The Ghost
yeah.
Rider.
Did you guys
No.
back it or?
No,
See,
I didn't
backed
even.
it and then I backed out.
No.
Yeah.
You backed out.
Yeah, I backed it and then I backed out. And I was like,
You're like, nah, I don't want it. What about you?
Well, I
Champ?
was hoping for the only way that thing was going to be worth it to me is if I got all the tiered figures. So
Yeah.
if it to me it made sense, because it's like, okay, well, $350, it's easily $100 worth of figures, so $250 for the car and all that, plus $100 worth of figures. To me, that makes sense.
Honestly, if I really wanted something, like for example, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, I think like on Big Bag Toy Store that was like $100. I was like, you know what? Fine, I'll spend money on that because that's my childhood hero. Fine, but I won't go more than that because recently, Premium Bandai, my favorite company of all time, decided to say, hey, one of your favorite villains from Dragon Ball Z, Cooler, Frieza's brother, for those who don't know, he's having a figure that was just announced technically last night, but they made an error, like they announced it too early.
Officially announced today.
Officially announced today, and it's going to be $120.
Oh, for that little guy?
Yeah, it's just like
Metal
a
Cooler.
Goku.
And it looks like it's like a Frieza-sized figure too, right?
Yeah.
No. Cooler is not the size. No, Cooler is
taller.
not the size. He's no. Cooler is like the size of like
bigger?
Goku. He's a little bit taller than Goku. Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
like I think that.
But he doesn't
Basic-
come with that much accessories to warrant that price.
Because I have the first one, and he's like way bigger. So
Yeah.
right.
Then he there's a smaller form of him, but not super small. Like the size of Goku.
I'm pretty sure. He's definitely smaller than this Frieza figure. This Frieza figure went for like $80 or something like that. This Cooler is smaller. I think the only reason why he's 120 is because he's completely decked out in chrome. That's the only thing that I can think of.
A shiny silver. Yeah.
And it's not like even real metal, I believe. I think it's just like what? It's plastic. Like
I mean, if there's die cast in it, but they didn't say there was, so that would make sense why it's more expensive. But they didn't say there's die cast in it. It's
more so the
shiny
comparison
toy.
here is that it's just that a lot of these companies have been making their own sites and like exclusive figures to their sites. Like Hasbro is basically the premium Bandai to the Figuarts. Like Hasbro Pulse is like SH Figuarts premium Bandai line, and it's like what the biggest insult I think, like because you could say like, okay, well the Ghost Rider thing was more so like a community test or whatever. The biggest insult to me is that video game Spider-Man with limited amount of hand accessories, like one web, and like it's they're putting it. It's like $30 or something like that. It's not a complete figure.
$35.
$35.
Yeah.
The PS4 one?
Yeah.
PS5 now.
Yeah.
Man.
Technically.
Yeah,
Technically,
PS5 it just came in. I just got it in. I haven't opened it yet, but yeah.
I saw a review.
Are you excited for it?
I saw a review by MCU Collector, and like, it's really because they go all out with the PS4 or PS5 Miles Morales figure, and I love that figure. That like the sculpting's on it great, the accessories, it's just awesome. I like that's like technically my second Miles figure, and it's my favorite one. And then they just they cut back on the PS5 Spider-Man, and you don't have the like 2 thripping hands, you don't have the wall crawling hands.
Oh yeah, they gave you like one,
and then they charge more.
Yeah,
and then they charge more for it. Like what?
Yeah.
No, but that kind of stuff is totally reasonable to get frustrated over. But at the same time, you will have fans that are diehards. Like for instance, there's a Robbie Reyes fan out there that would pay even more than $350 for that Engine of Vengeance and be happy. There's a PS5 Spider-Man fan that would pay even more than $35 for that figure.
At that point, they get the figure arts.
PS5 Spider-Man. Like maybe, this is actually kind of rides the line where I've written part 6 of the Collector documentary, which I haven't shot yet, but there's a different, which I should really make now because this topic has been coming up more and more, where it's like people's level of fandom is different, where people are going to be a little bit more dedicated towards particular characters, and that should be okay for those people that are on those fringes, like because that's not everybody, but there's going to be people that are super there's that like I have a friend that is a huge Daredevil fan. This guy loves Daredevil. He's a freaking lawyer. And I make fun of him. I'm like, man, you became a lawyer because you're a comic book. Like, what the hell? Like, that's so crazy. Like that's
passion, I guess.
Yeah. Talk about dedication for like, sent me pictures of hella comics and everything, old school Daredevil comics and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the value of a dope ass Daredevil figure for him, I mean, he's gonna be willing to pay up more than the average person for a Daredevil figure.
Yeah, you're on point with that. Yeah,
so
if it's like your favorite character, you're gonna pay more than the average collector.
Yeah, and I have a problem with collectors attacking each other for their fandom. Like that bothers me. You don't want to be the vegan at the deli. Or
the vegan teacher
at the deli. You know what I mean? Like I have no problems with vegans and stuff like that. Or you don't want to be the meat eater at the vegan restaurant. You know? Oh, you assholes, why aren't you putting meat in it? Leave the vegans alone, man. They're enjoying their food. That's what they want to eat,
Just let them do
vice
their thing.
versa.
Yep. Whatever makes someone happy, let them do it.
Right. But if there's not enough Robbie Reyes fans out there that are diehard enough to pay up that $350 and it doesn't make it, well, then that's the reality of the situation, where it's just not that popular enough, and you have to accept that, hey, you're part of a small group of diehard Robbie Reyes fans over here, and that it is what it is. But yeah, that's just the thing in the community that I don't like seeing, is people attacking each other's fandom, collector on collector animosity. That just bothers me, and I don't like that. I don't mind people getting mad at the companies. You know what I mean? Getting mad at Hasbro.
They're meant for that.
Yes. Yeah. So take your pitchforks and just go to those companies and riot. We approve.
Yeah.
No, just
I'm looking at you.
Premium Bandai.
I'm not trying to say I'm against riots, okay? I'm just saying, like, don't do it at people's houses. you know, do it in front of a store like a normal person. Like, like, but for real, like the grievances should be with the companies, because then at that point they're not making it accessible for everybody then, right? That why do I have to be a diehard PS5 Spider-Man fan to get the Spider-Man figure? You know, I shouldn't have to be a diehard Spider-Man PS5 fan to want to
be a casual fan of the character and still be able to get it. Yeah,
exactly. A casual fan should be able to pick it up. We shouldn't have to go through that kind of BS. And so that's like one thing that I feel like has changed in recent years. People seem to be at each other's throats, not just influencers amongst influencers. I'm really
collectors in general.
I'm seeing it coming from collectors on collectors in comment sections. You know what I mean? Like people just at each other, and it's getting ugly out there. And I think as a society,
people are like being more aggressive to people. And I know exactly like what you're trying to say.
Can I ask like one thing about this? Like when you talk about like, you know, people being aggressive, is this like, would this mean what social media do you find this to be the most present on?
Well, oh god, well,
probably all of
ones I don't use,
I'm thinking Twitter.
Like,
Twitter's the one thing that comes to mind. It sounds just like it, but what is it that happens on it?
Well, yeah, Twitter and Facebook I think are the worst.
Like,
those two I think are the guilty are feel that kind of, you know, aggression on each other more than anything. I think those two are the worst. Yeah, I use both of those social media outlets to promote my videos, and then that's really about it. Like I don't interact with people on there because it's just not really a fun place to go, and people want to
you don't even want to comment on anything.
I don't even want to be there. Like I don't even want to hang out there. It's just like a bunch of people freely disrespectful to each other, and people saying shit that they would never say to each other's faces, and people thinking they're brave when they're just not. And
bunch of keyboard warriors eat my shorts.
Yeah, that's what it is pretty much. They talk shit, or they say they don't like a person, but then when they see you in public, then they say like, oh, they act totally different, like they're your best friend or the biggest fan or something.
It was
like
just a prank, bro. You know, it was just Josh.
You just gotta treat people with respect, and it's like people are losing that. You know what I mean? They're losing it. Being respectful as a human being to another one. Treat someone as you would want to be treated. You know what I mean? It's don't treat somebody like crap because you have a different opinion.
I see like this as like, you know, the common thing is it's not even just with the figure collecting community. It's like this has been happening a lot of like other communities. The Dragon Ball community in particular. I've seen this happen with, you know, folks like Geekdom. It's like there's this big like, you know, thing where it's just like people, whenever they just go on, they say whatever they want. They don't want to take accountability, and they're projecting like this need to like, you know, act a specific way as a means of like trying to, you know, feel better about themselves. And it's like it's kind of like it's like wide scale form of like, you know, bullying or harassment and such. And it's just like it's ultimately people who are legit on the internet aren't going to be like waste their time going after others, because they're going to use their time actually making something for themselves, like do something valuable with your life. I think the problem with these social media outlets is that they mimic the effect that would be in like, you know, social situations that make people, you know, feel stimulated or make people feel validated and such. And it's like ultimately none of these feelings or none of these effects are actually going to help them. So if you're one of these kinds of people who like who are you know, a victim
like in a cancer.
Or have that effect. Just like, listen, social media is not the place, you know, to be making business. Twitter and Facebook, they are a means of expanding your business. Try doing stuff with YouTube. Do your own things. Like, you know, make something for yourself rather than going online and trying to criticize people or whatnot. Like ultimately it's like what Shartimus said. It's like the main problem with like a lot of these like with the figures and such is with the companies and not with the fandom. Some people will like what they buy. Some people will enjoy specific things, and other people won't enjoy. But it's just like we gotta respect that, because ultimately, like, as much as I like to dog on, like, for example, the full Dookie Super Saiyan Goku, or as Shartimus like likes to dog on the the big time letdown Spider-Man, there's people out there that still legitimately like these figures, and it's like these people find value and treasure in these things that other people can't, because there's unique experiences to them. And I think that we like that's there's good things that we just gotta recognize with the figure community.
Yeah. And I think I think it's not too far out of reach. I recently did a video talking about the Ramen Racer and the HasLab, and I did a comparison video, and there was a whole bunch of information. I did 2 videos recently. The first one, there was a bunch of points of information that I was missing in there, and I could tell that bunch of people were commenting on these points of facts that I was missing. That may not have been regular viewers on my channel.
Yeah, probably not.
And a whole bunch. For the most part, I will say, because I really did try to come at it in a respectful way in that video, that I feel like the majority of those people came at me with a respectful tone. There were a couple that did come at me in a disrespectful way. I didn't block them, but I did delete those comments, because I was like, you know what?
There's better ways to go about it.
You get another chance to say it in a more respectful way. I'm not banning you, but that was a dick thing. That was a dick way to go about it, so I'm just deleting that.
Yep.
So they get to comment again, try again. But not just for having a dissenting point, but for being disrespectful. The dissenting points I keep up there. I actually even made another video correcting my mistakes, trying to shine light on those things that people said. But I really appreciated that. I really appreciated that these people came at it in a respectful way. And it sounded like they had a different opinion. They had a different opinion, but in presenting the facts, like, they didn't use that as ammunition to attack me.
I know exactly.
They really did it in a way to inform me more than anything, and that video gave me a lot more hope, because I was like, "See, there you go. That's how you could do it." And these people have nothing. And these people probably don't even follow me or subscribe to my channel, but they went about it in a way where it was respectful. It wasn't like aggressive, but they're informing me where I was wrong. I thought that was really cool, and my own followers too. My own supporters of my on Patreon and stuff, they also, hey, actually, I think you're wrong about that, or you missed this, and stuff like that. So I appreciate it from all angles, but I'm shining a light right now at the comment section, because these are people that had an opportunity to take the easy way of just using it as an opportunity to attack me, but they didn't. They went at it about it in a much more respectful way, and I think people do more of that. I think we're all going to be a lot more better off, because
and people, YouTubers notice that too. Like, when you are respectful to a YouTuber, they remember your name, so keep that in mind too. Like, I won't forget if somebody was attacking me and then somebody maybe corrected them in a respectful way, saying just don't be a dick, pretty much, but they said it respectfully. Like, you do appreciate comments like that, or when you make a mistake, they aren't being assholes about it. And like you said, you're down, they can attack you right now and your hands are tied, but you said most people didn't, which is stuff we see in the comments, and I really do appreciate stuff like that. Is really great to see, and hopefully more people become get more to that point. I mean, most people are. There's just that handful that aren't like that.
I think we need to. I think if more of us start to just like not accept that bad behavior, and I say bad behavior in the sense of again, disagreeing is fine, but
Yep.
let's keep some kind of level. I can't even say it.
Just
out loud.
try to be
I
civil.
was saying some kind of level of decorum on my Shartimus Prime YouTube channel, please. Oh my God, what a douche! God, guys, like I can't even say it out loud. I mean, look, dude, I love dirty jokes. Please, everybody, keep the dirty jokes. Like, but I just want us to respect each other, not take jabs at each other. You guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, even YouTube polices that. They don't.
Yeah.
They even if you say something too derogatory or something that's just you're attacking somebody, YouTube will just block you without us even knowing because they know that you are spamming and trolling. So keep that in mind too. We probably won't even see your comment.
Yeah.
But
oh wow.
yeah. I do like what we're talking about here, and I think it's going to send out a good message to other figure collectors, and hopefully they'll take it to heart and be like, you know what, these guys are right. Maybe I should step in a ticket. But
there's nothing wrong as giving your critique, but it's another thing where you say you don't know jack shit about this. You need to go back to school, some shit. Like
It's not cool.
I mean, I would feel better. I mean, I would take pride. I'm just trying to like if I was watching a YouTube video and I left a comment and I respectfully corrected them or went about it in a way, like that, and they ended up seeing it and kind of altered their perspective based off of that, I would take pride in my own comment. Like, hey, look what I wrote. Look what I did. I enlightened this thing. And people did that. People enlightened me in that comment section. They should be proud of what they wrote and the way they went about it. Because like, oh crap, I didn't realize. Oh shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
you miss stuff here and there. We're not perfect.
You're only human. And if anything, like those critiques helps you become a better content creator and like helps you improve your skills. Like me and Daredevil, we worked on a Goku video, and I was like, oh, while I was editing for him, I was like, oh, there's this also toy line that you could also put in there, I wasn't trying to go after him. I was just like, yo, by the way, I think it'd be really cool if you did this,
Yeah, because I missed a couple, and because I knew it was like a bigger project, so I told him like if you do see anything I messed up or missed, just let me know. And he went out of his way to let me know, and I was able to fix it, and we were able to add it into the video. So just things like that. It's awesome, just helping people out. It's just a nice thing to do,
Yeah. Well, it's easy to assume that, YouTubers don't want to be told when they're wrong or, when there's a better idea, you know what I mean? But that's not really the case. Like there's, there's always like constructive criticism can actually really go a long way. And I think most of us care to have that over any kind of, like nobody really seeks out the hypothetical sycophant viewer that haters tend to kind of like make up, like, oh yeah, they just say everything that you say that is gold or whatever. It's like, man, I don't want that. If I say something wrong, I would rather be told I said something wrong. I don't want to be told everything is right, even if I say something wrong. Like I should not want that. I don't want that. So I think that goes for most people, right? Like you don't want your close circle of friends to just tell you that, like, oh shit, those pants look good. Oh, okay. Oh, little did I realize,
they look like shit.
Yeah. Like, oh, they look like shit. What's with all these pictures? Look at these horrible looking pants.
It's better than
Jankos.
I'm gonna call that like the little like the George Lucas circle. Like during the prequels, he had a bunch of yes men say, "Yeah, go ahead, George. Yeah, do that." That weird scene of Anakin throwing a fit in front of Padme. It's better to have someone be like, "I don't know about that, Chief. That that's." I'm just saying those pants ain't the best.
Yeah. Exactly. So we do need
Yeah.
all of that.
I know
But,
that your time is limited right now. I don't want to overstep like your time, but like any final thoughts and such before we wrap things up.
I wish I could hang out longer. I do have to get running, but yeah, I think people are up for the challenge of doing the harder thing and doing their own decision making as far as their opinions go on people. Like I said in that video, like make your judgment call based off of what you see that person do with your own eyes and your own ears, and not what somebody else says about them. You know, like even if it's in a video, because there's been shit where what I've said has been clipped apart and put together, and then you see it come out of my mouth and hear it come out of my mouth, and it looks so much worse than it did when it was actually the raw video. Stuff like that, like go to the source. Go to the source, see for yourself.
No.
And if I may add one small thing to it, is like if you are going to like, determine which figure reviewers you agree or disagree with, just try to make sure that you understand where the person's coming from, and before you make any rash decisions about them and like what their character is and such. And besides, it's like when it comes to the people who are online, a lot of the times like the personas that people project online aren't even, how they really are. It's all for the sake of, YouTube. It's all for the sake of like, playing a specific character. Russ, I'm sure you're much different, but on YouTube, your persona is like you're like this big goofy guy who likes Shartin action figures and toilet paper.
It's pretty much it's pretty consistent. So it's like it's more or less. I mean, I don't know. Like, with the music stuff, actually, I had this bass player that I play with in this jazz combo with. He said, like, your YouTube videos, you're like always like excited and everything, but like with the jazz stuff and everything, you're like way more serious.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what the fuck, dude? I'm sorry. I'm like, dude.
Like, I don't notice. I do it too.
Oh, I'm like, yo, this is jazz. This is life or death. Like, jazz is way harder. Like, jazz.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to play John Coltrane tunes on drums? Well, like, it's really hard. Like, the amount of focus and everything. I don't have
more concentration and practice.
I'm trying to play super light drums and really, really fast and hit all these hits and everything.
Yeah, doing it, you have to do it fast but lightly. That is tough. Yeah. Just you saying that, I knew that was hard to do. I'm like, oh shit.
God.
Yeah. So like, I'm not like I'm at like work. Like like focused like in a completely different realm. But like, but I have had people at Comic-Cons, conventions, people have recognized me just by hearing me because of the things I say, like of me getting excited over one thing or like I was looking at posters and I was talking about how sick the posters looked, and somebody just turned around and we're like, "Oh, I knew it was you."
Sick. I know that voice. You do have like a distinct voice though. Like when you do get excited about something, you're like, "Wait, it sounds like Shartimus." So
I've had people, I've had people do that, and or I got caught looking through a Build-A-Figure bin, and I was admiring the Gigantotoes, and it was like this dude was cracking up because like I got hella. I was like, damn! I was like, oh damn! The Gigantotoes actually look really good. Shartimus Prime. I was like, oh shit! Like I hella got busted. Like hella.
Nobody else would say
that. I was like, oh, no, shit. I'm not looking at toes. No, I'm not Shartimus. Who is that?
Like, oh, it's not me. It's not me.
You just put on the disguise with the glasses and mustache and try to walk away. I don't think so, shit. Buddy.
Try to sneak my way out. But so like, those points, like when I'm in the groove of enjoying the collecting, I'm very much the same. It's the same.
Yeah. You're like in another world when you're doing that though, looking for figures or posing them. Your mind's just like it's so.
You're like a kid again. It's like
It's like one time, like one of those rest times. But I mean, speaking of which, I have a review.
Yeah, let's
have to
rippity wrap it up for you.
All right.
Nah, it
Let
was
us
good
know.
having you on.
Yeah, man.
Thanks
good
for
you
having
on.
me. Yeah. I wish I could
Oh,
stay
yeah,
on
no
longer.
problem.
Apologies.
Maybe we
All
can
right.
do it another time.
Yes.
All right,
yeah.
guys. Let me go ahead and wrap. Let me go ahead and do the outro and wrap things up. All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching the podcast and enjoying. And to the people who are commenting, thank you always so much for being very respectful. Not like these other communities. This community here, the comment section is really great, and I'm super proud of you guys. With that being said, I look forward to seeing you guys and reading your comments down below. And I'll see you guys in the next podcast. Until then.
Thanks for listening to our episode. If you're on YouTube and watch the video, then thank you for watching as well. We are your hosts, Starblast Studios, and me, Daredevil19. And if you enjoyed our episode on Spotify, be sure to give us a follow and a rating. And we do thank you. And if you did watch this on YouTube, be sure to give a like if you liked it, and a subscribe if you enjoyed it. And we will catch you on the next episode of the Plastic Power Podcast.